It's very unlikely to happen this time round, and Talon, they just decide to go for the Ursa. You know, it's a hero which could easily shred the Doom in the laning phase, going to make plenty of space for the Ursa Bear to get his farm online, and yeah, should be pretty damn safe lane there. 423 this time round. And we'll see how the Doom's going to be able to perform. So sometimes you want to like remove the Rubik if you've got a Doom, but considering how Talon have pretty much already got their support duo online, the Ricky Silencer, they haven't got to waste their ban towards that. It is literally just, it's either the off lane or mid lane. Because again, the Tusk does have that flexibility, but I think it's I think it's going to be the mid lane, right? Because you don't want to put an off lane Tusk up against the Undying. The Decay is just going to ruin your life really, really hard. So you want to try and just avoid that matchup if at all possible. Yeah, chuck him into the mids and, you know, potentially get someone who isn't punished as hard from an Undying in the laning phase. But sometimes it's easier said than done, because Undying is a very annoying hero to play versus for sure. Ricky can't exactly do too much, to be honest. Yeah, he can run around, he could try and trade versus the Undying, but the Decay's going to screw him over just as hard. Yeah, it's not too great. Yeah. Ooh, I'm not really too sure what offlane I'm leaning towards there for Talon. Obviously, they do have the final pick yet again, so they can help cherry pick that depending on what carry Blacklist are actually going to go for in the long run. I mean, it's got to be carry that can play versus the Ursa later on as well. So for someone that could try and, you know, just kite around it, make some distance. I mean, so far Talon don't have a huge amount of reach. I mean, sure, they've got the Ricky Sleeper Dart that can set up, get people closer. Snowball as well, but Snowball's obviously a bit slow, gives you plenty of time to react to it. So maybe they might want someone who can, yeah, get onto the backlines a little bit quicker. They've also got to address the fact they don't have any real teamfight ultimates. Like, sure, they've got the global silence, but, you know, there's no way of locking people down in an area, good stuns, good AoE slows, anything like that. And yeah, they're going to have to address that problem momentarily. And Drow Ranger is the call from Blacklist. So I'm thinking Mars. Mars could be really good. It addresses that teamfight problem. It's good area lockdown. The arena as well stops the right clicks on the Drow coming in, as well as obviously if you activate Bulwark, it soaks up a lot of the damage for your team. It mitigates it quite heavily. And yeah, I think that could work. I imagine that Jabs can probably play it. I'm sure he can. Be very surprised if he can't, but that's what makes most sense to me. I mean, it does get punished a bit by the Undying in the lane for sure. And okay, Talon decide to actually go for the Marcy. So is this the off-lane Marcy, or are they like putting Marcy mid and Tusk off-lane now? No, yeah, it's still the Tusk mid. Okay, Makoto going to be running that one. And yeah, going to be Jabs on the Marcy for the off-lane. You know, everyone on the side of Rivalry pretty much in the positions you would expect. You know, Ku for the off-lane Doom, Raven carry Drow, mid Ember Spirit. Yeah, nothing too surprising there. Actually, the one difference is the fact that AU is not playing the Mirana this time round. They've decided to swap it. It was AU playing Mirana first time, right? Yeah. Yeah, because Tim's was on the Tiny. So yeah, they are deciding to actually, you know, change that up a little bit. We'll see if that makes a big difference or not. Who knows? But 10 seconds. What for? Everyone's picked. Oh wait, no. I just heard there were two commentators. 10 seconds left, but it's because Marcy hasn't actually, Jabs hasn't selected his hero. That's it. Yeah, never mind. Ignore me, guys. Ignore me. But yeah, who am I preferring looking at these drafts? It's quite a hard one, to be honest with you. I mean, Talon, they've got some ways of addressing the Tombstone. You've got the Ursa and Marcy that can help bring down that ability relatively quickly. As long as they're not obviously hit by the Doom. Mid lane's going to be the even matchup. I think, yeah, 23 on the Ursa will just win his lane, so he should be able to get a decent amount of farm. And to be honest, I sort of think the same for Raven as well. Obviously, with the help of the Undying, going to be able to bully him back and make plenty of space. But the problem is that obviously Marcy is a high-reached hero in the laning phase. We could potentially see the Marcy and Ricky both jump on the Drow Ranger. Maybe they could bring her down in time if they, you know, combo their spells really well, get the silences online. So definitely have to be a little bit careful about that from the side of Blacklist. I don't really know. I actually have no idea who I'm leaning towards. I really feel like the lanes are going to really make a big difference in this game. Like I said, both safe lanes are probably going to be fine. Both the carries are going to be able to just do whatever they want, get their farm going. The mids are going to be even. So I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be skill based. Like I really think it's going to be skill based. And Talon obviously performs the better team in game number 1. So yeah, I'll go Talon purely for the fact of that. Nothing to do with draft. I really do feel it was quite even there. We shall see. I've been wrong before in the past. I can't remember who I said was going to win game number 1. Not a clue. I probably should remember, shouldn't I? But I don't.
All hell's broken loose.
Oh dear.
This time.
So just read in chat. Excuse my random silence. Yeah, are we going to get treated to a first blood play? Probably not. Not again. I mean, both teams in game number 1 just did a smoke to get down the wards, whatnot. Everyone fall into positions they would expect. And I imagine we're just going to see that again. Yeah, immediate smokes from both sides. And it's going to run out, man. I really want to see it. I want to see some first bloods at the start. I mean, obviously we did actually get it game number 1. It wasn't exactly intentional. It was kind of Q stepping out of position and just getting caught off. But, you know, regardless of that, Talon were still able to come back quite nicely. And, yeah, we shall see how this ends up going down. I mean, obviously, actually, a thing to point, right? Carl got absolutely annihilated in the mid lane, and he had the first blood bonus. I kind of feel like maybe if he actually got the bottle first instead of the boots, that could have made a difference there. You know, with that extra bit of regen, help sustain versus the Monkey King, could potentially stood his ground. I mean, like I was saying, the boots did make sense. I don't know.
30 seconds and counting.
Yeah, it made sense to avoid the Jingu stacks, right? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes down. But yeah, once again, not going to be any first blood. Q not making the same mistake as game number 1. Going to be 2 for 2 on the bounties.
Is it spring already?
I don't know if someone's picking out the fact that there's a ward up there. I don't know who actually think there is. There's a little bit of a contest here for the top room, but Bosku sees the fact that there's 4 heroes, and he's like, no. No thank you. And he does decide to run away. So yeah, 2 for 2, straight down the middle. Is there actually gonna be a, when's first blood gonna be? I'm really confused about that. Like, both side lanes going to do well, so maybe it just depends on who steps out of position first, you know. The Doom on the side of Blacklist potentially could get caught out from the old Ursa, and Silencer get brought down, but it's less likely. Obviously, Silencer can do a lot of harassment early on, but yeah, it just depends if Bosku, just how well he plays it, to be honest. And then same sort of situation at the bot lane. Jabs is going to get bullied a fair bit there for the right clicks of Raven, but there's always the possibility they could get aggressive themselves. With obviously the spam coming out from the decay, it's going to make it very, very difficult for Jabs to try and do anything at all in this lane. AU dragging the creep wave. Obviously, he wants to try and contest this little pull that Q's going to do. Where is the new creep wave going to be? Q turning around. They're both like saying, who's going which way? Who's going which way? All right, he's going back up to the high ground. AU has to go back up to the high ground. Q, back to the low ground. AU, back to the low ground. Q, back to the high ground. Raven, AU's like, okay, I'm done. he did not want to play Ring Around the Roses anymore. He's like, whatever. I'm just going to put a little lane here. Raven can farm this up. There's also another wave coming in, which Q has actually missed the intercept. So this is going to be 2 full waves. But actually, AU snatches it, dragging it off. And yeah, he's going to put the wave in the jungle instead. But the range creep's running off. Can Raven get that creep in time? Does secure it there with the old multi-shot. Very crazy little turn of events. The waves just running all over the place. No idea what's happening. No idea. How's this mid lane going so far? 8-1 to Carl to the 7-3 of Makoto, so pretty much bang on even. And like I was saying earlier, there's not really going to be much chance of a solo kill. Just going to be both of these two trading farm. and right clicks. You know, eventually someone could drop to a rotation that comes in from the supports. Undying's pretty bad at rotating, but the Miranda definitely can. You know, obviously the Searing Chain set up into the arrow when Carl eventually levels it. I assume he'd take it level 4 just for that possibility. Okay, we're actually just trapping in Carl right now, just try and force a couple of trades. Even still, we'll be both just going for the water rune each. Get the regen going. Top lane, 12 and 1 to 23 to the 9 wear of Bosku. 9 where? 9-1? English, it's hard, guys, it's hard. It's not my native language at all. Yeah, but yeah, he's feeling pretty comfortable. He's doing fine up here, not contested by Bosku whatsoever, and not that he really can. And Bosku actually, though, got the old mana burn ability. So gonna just try and whittle down at the mana pool there of 23. Try and force him to like not get as many earth shocks off in this lane, which can be quite nasty. I mean, we've seen it in previous series getting the the chain lightning creep, the old zzz, and that can really rack up damage quite quickly, but it's more mana intensive. And this ability has a huge cooldown actually, 18 seconds. That's pretty damn massive. But it's huge versus the silencer, right? You know, you just stop him from being able to spam out the Arcane Curse and Glaives of Wisdom, and it allows him to just, yeah, stay a bit more durable. So I actually really, really like this. And it sort of scales against the silencer, right? You know, he gets the infinite scaling of the intelligence, but the more intelligence you have, the more mana that gets burned.
The prize is mine.
Very cool. Very nice pickup there for Bosku. I like it. Am I the caster and the observer? Yes, I am. I am indeed. Having to do both roles all on my own. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. Still no one really pulling ahead here in this mid. And maybe you might see Buko be able to get the possibility of a solo kill once he hits level 6. You know, could catch him by surprise there with the old uppercut. You know, Walrus Punch. Oh, Q actually rotating in towards the mid. Good away here to take away the bottom water rune. Buko grabbing the top. And now that's actually a pretty big opportunity. Carl without any regen before level 6 as well. So you might be able to use that to advantage and bully him out. We can see Buko getting quite aggressive right now. See if he can just trade to right clicks away against the Ember Spirit and yeah, do some decent work. Meanwhile, down at the bot lane, AU trying to get himself out. It's not going to happen and he will die. Raven was doing some decent damage towards jabs, but one kill pop there of the smoke cloud and forced him to disengage. The first blood picked up goes towards the support Ricky Maru, which I'm sure Talon would have liked jabs to get it, but regardless, it's a bit more space, a bit more money.
Middle is missing.
I assume he's just bought himself some brown boots as well. Big luxury item for a support 5 minutes in. Boots. Whew. Huge value. Cute. He might have just overplayed his hand a little bit. Stepping out and a couple of spells get whacked into his back. Trying to do what he can. Juking with the tricks of the trade. There's going to be a smoke drop, but regardless, they keep him pace after the Ricky. Got another pounce in a second. Goes to the creeps. Jumps onto the side. Final right click. It's not enough. Q! You juking beast. Absolute mad. AU's desperately trying to find the grab, but oh, that is stellar play coming up there from the Ricky. He's just going to run to the tier 2, sacrifice himself away, and then just TP. Wait, that was Raven's courier. I thought it was his own courier. Oh, my lord. Oh, that's just huge value. He survives. He gets a courier. The Dire kills him. Comes back into lane full HP for mana. That could be MVP right there. That could be very, very big. Ollie. Make a little rotation to the mid. Carl in some danger. Got no HP, no mana to work with. Will use the stick charges. Sleight of fist, but gets silenced. And actually, AU getting involved. Just 1 decay and a couple of zombies is all they need. Q desperately wants to try and get Carl, but the Fog of War denies that. Ollie's at least going to be able to kill this Tombstone, but AU just denies it in front of him. It's a very nice move. So every support coming into this mid lane, but it is Blacklist getting the advantage there. Bit of extra space for Carl to work with, and yeah, looks like he's going to TP back to base, come back in full HP for mana. And that's big. Definitely a big change from game number 1 as well, where he got punished really, really hard, but surviving that situation. He's doing decently on CS as well. He's actually going to have a game. It's going to be nice. But, you know, I mean, there's been a few more kills than I would expect, to be honest. Mind you, actually, one of those kills is the Knight of the Tower. The other one's 6 heroes in the mid lane. The other was a solo kill. So maybe, you know, it's pretty on track with how I expected the game to go. It's just slow trade, everyone building up their farm bit by bit. And, you know, potentially we could see some level 6 rotations from the mid. And yes, we do. Makoto is heading on down. But he does get spotted from both Illusions and an Observer Ward. So this gank, unfortunately, for the side of Talon's probably not going to be able to net too much it. Oh, Q. Curry kill. Ooh, I thought maybe he might have committed like a trickster trade to get that, because that is completed power treads. That's a big power spike there for the Drow Ranger. Tim's even now getting involved. And then the Talon just want to dive underneath the tower. Carl actually gets the kill elsewhere onto Ollie. Let's see who ends up dropping here at the bot lane. Down goes the Tombstone. They need some people to focus onto it. So everyone's just Makoto, but he can't do it on his own. And now everyone just changes their aggression towards the Tusk. Makoto desperately trying to run away right now. And he is able to get a decent distance apart from everyone else. Now Q's the one taking all the beatings as well as jabs. Arrow goes through the middle, but they can't get the grab. Actually, it looks like Talon, they want to try and turn around, go on to Raven, but fantastic Gust pushed away. The smoke as well, making space, but Carl, he's like, hang about, there's a fight still going on. I want to get involved. Gets a kill pick off there for him, and everyone else will just TP out. So, 7 heroes down at the bot, and just really one off lane to end up dropping down. Which still, not too bad coming out on the way there for Blacklist, obviously. Keeping the Drow Ranger alive, finding an extra kill there for the Ember Spirit. And he doesn't miss out on too much in his mid lane either. Yeah, already Carl just feels like a completely different hero this game. Like, not due to skill level, but the fact that he's actually been able to get some stuff online. You know, he's got CS for a change. He's got 2 kills plus an assist. He's going to have phase boots coming out and just 10 gold. But yeah, feels like an actual mid laner. Just easy poking onto Ollie as well. Looks like they were picking out to maybe see if they can go onto him, but it's a hard kill to find. And then Makoto just going to harass him, poking and prod him. Not really too much can be completed. Maybe if Ollie was level 6, they could use the global to get that kill, but yeah, at this point, Carl feels pretty safe. But yeah, he did actually have any spare remnants, but he does have one just dropped already.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
I mean, I've not actually looked at it. Let's have a look at top. Let's see how top's going. 60-4 there to 23 to the 54-7 there on Bosco. So this Doom's actually having a relatively decent job. To be honest, I kind of thought the Ursa would be able to just dominate this lane and completely shut down Q altogether, but no, he's finding farm, he's finding space, he's getting his items online. He did go for the Hand of Midas build, and bots as well queued up next, 1,000 gold off, so it's not going to be too bad of a time there. Meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle as well as mid, Ollie dies. Could potentially see Raven going down there as well. Using the pick-out form, can he run fast off Little Piggy? And no, he cannot. He gets brought down, but maybe they can get some sort of counter kills as well. The zombies are really starting to rack up. And with the involvement of Carl, they bring down 1, they bring down 2. Oh, sniping out there with the shards coming in from Makito. Definitely helped recover that situation. So it ends up being a 2 for 2. I mean, Carl just counter poking, can't quite find the kill, but even still, oh, maybe they're going to turn around. Silence there, but it gets countered out from the illusion rune, so Carl should be perfectly safe. Doesn't actually have that much mana to work with, though. I mean, he's got the stick charges if he wants to go for a zip out, which he will. And he is gone. But yeah, I mean, so it was a 3 for 3, because if you count the kill onto Ollie in the mids, which I guess slightly favors Talon, considering the fact that they killed the Drow Ranger, right? Like, that is the big part. Slowing down his time, making a bigger rift between the Drow and the Ursa. We actually might see a little bit of smoke on smoke action right now. It breaks there for Carl, but so for Makoto. And they're going to poke and prod, but Carl easily able to get out of the smoke radius. And already Talon's like, yeah, this fight's scuffed, just get out. And don't end up getting caught for anything else. Arrow. Oof. Oh, for the split second, I thought that was going to be a pinpoint accuracy coming out there from Tim's. From downtown, but Makoto actually, he's going to keep going. Got the charge forwards there, on towards Bosku. Stun connection is in. Going to see if they control him, and yes, they can. Bosku gets annihilated with the assistance there. Makoto, for 23, getting that kill credit. And that's pretty big. Yeah, we're saying the Doom's been having a relatively free time here at this safe lane, just getting all the farm in the world, but yeah, very, very nice rotation to help slow that down. And bumps up 23's farm, who is 1,200 gold ahead of Raven. I think he's got completed Battle Fury coming out, right? Yeah. Complete Battle Fury now online at 12 minutes in. I mean, plus brown boots. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, and unfortunately, oh, actually, I didn't even see that. Talon Tower drops. That's actually pretty damn big, considering the fact that there's no, there's not really great tower pushing on the side of Blacklist, but still able to bring down that tower at just 12 minutes in. That is a huge accomplishment there for Blacklist, you know. Bit of extra space to work with across the map. Makes it more difficult for anyone to try and soak up the farm in the mid lane. But, you know, at the same time, the bottom tier 1 also did drop there, which I assume was probably an unleash usage from Jabs a little while ago. This is a problem when I'm solo casting. I miss out so much. It's like, where do I look? What do I talk about? It's too much, man. It's too much. Armlet, though, now complete up for Jabs. So the damage output from this Marcy is really, really incredible right now. And can definitely just start getting involved, glue onto anyone that they fire, and just bring them down. Obviously, without the BKB yet, definitely susceptible to just getting stunned in place or gusted back from like the Drow Ranger. And yeah, potentially it could make it a bit awkward, but you know, it's a Marcy, so BKB is just inevitable, right? It's going to be coming out, but just depends how long. Tier 1 tower also ends up falling down, so Raven's got a bit of extra space to work with. Well, it looks like Talon, with this smoke maneuver, they're actually heading up here. It looks like AU's going to be in the perfect place to break it. There is going to be the sentry ward to get the vision, but he's out of the range, and they don't have any other detection to find him. But instead, they will, at the very least, find the obs. But it was a good position there from AU, you know. Pretty much tanks the smoke gank there for Raven. And allowed the Drow Ranger to get out. Very, very close.
Regeneration.
Oh, meanwhile, in the dire jungle, triangle, Carl just trying to contest to see if there was any stacks that were made up there for Talon. But 2030, I think he was able to pretty much farm them all up before the Ember Spirit showed himself. And yeah, the farm of this Ursa is just really going to start skyrocketing with this Battlefield already online. As you can see, he's about 1,800 gold ahead of the counterpart carry, 40 minutes in, which feels pretty damn big. Gonna go for Blink, BKB, Basher, most likely in that order as well. Meanwhile, the Drow, you know, again, pretty standard Drow stuff. Dragon Lance into the Hurricane Pike, Yasha, which I assume will be turned into the Manta style to help purge away the silence that comes out from the silencer. And a little move here from Blacklist. Looks like Makoto has been found. He just used his snowball as well to farm with the creeps, so he can't even use that to try and survive. Unfortunately for him, he is just dead. AU actually getting the kills. It's a killing spree. This Undying's feeling pretty damn good about himself. Gets tipped there from Carl. He's like, you don't need to just steal my kill a little bit, but I'll let you have it. You got the killing spree out. There's still less than 1k gold advantage at 15 minutes in. So, yeah, could just go either way. 52% win probability, just slightly into the favor of Blacklist, so no one's really pulling ahead whatsoever. But the nice thing, though, for Talon is that straight away on the 15-minute mark, it is the, you know, the shard got picked up there from Q. And there is going to be the dart, lock going to be placed for 23, but unfortunately was not expecting a Drow Ranger to be up on the high ground and just ends up taking him out. Yeah, that's pretty unlucky. Very unlucky for him. Want to try and get some good usage out of that first shard pickup, but not going to happen. Not at all. So Carl, still just the recipe away from his BKB, 1,100 gold. And maybe that's going to be the cue where, you know, Blacklist try and force some sort of 5 versus 5 engagement. It'll be around the same time. Well, actually, the Hurricane Pike will already be completed for Raven. And I think, to be honest, he'd feel alright getting involved, even with just the item, you know. It's going to be there to make space versus the Ursa. So he should be able to stay alive for a relatively decent amount of time. Still doesn't have the Purge with the Silence, mind you. But it is a Drow range at the end of the day. Not super reliant on the spells. Just the ability to actually chuck out those right clicks are going to be worthwhile. Looks like we've actually Talon grouping up as 5 right now. And there's going straight to the pit, but it's spot out from this Observer Ward. Is there any counter ward put down? They do get it. Vision getting removed. And then maybe go for a little fake back right now as Blacklist pretty much all in the area themselves, chilling up in the their own triangle area. Yarrow will scout out the fact that there's nobody in the pit. And Talon, see if they can get anyone that steps out of position. I think they see Bosku in there with the sentry wards. He's setting up the creeps. He's going to be the immediate target. There is going to be the global silence, and the Doom just gets torn to pieces, immediately dead. 40 seconds in the grave. No buyback. Oh, Dart also collects onto Carl, but unfortunately for them, they don't really have much follow-up. Actually, never mind, they do. With the Cloud Silence, there's no escape. And it's a second kill there for Talon. That's the mid and offlaner down, and it's the perfect opportunity now to pick up Roshan #1. And there is just nothing Blacklist could do, and they know it. They just disperse. All right, okay, they've got that. Go back to farming, try and get our next items up online, and yeah, we just have to weather the storm. So it's all going to be down to what Talon can actually do coming out of this Aegis pickup, whether how aggressive they want to play. I don't think they want to sit back and farm, right? They just want to keep on going, try and get more pickoffs, because that's really what this lineup's all about. They've got two very aggressive cores. Ursa, well, three. Ursa, Marcy, and Tusk. Neither one really wants to just sit back and hit creeps. They want to get involved. Get into the action, kill people, and excel their farm that way, especially with, you know, a support like a Ricky, who, again, just wants to be looking for kills, who potentially may have just found one. Stalking Boss Q right now. There is a few other members of Talon coming over. His Doom is just so quick. I think Q missed this opportunity to actually chuck out the dart, the Fog of War. Yeah, given the space was disengaged, and I missed that. Makoto, he just gets clapped on by 4 people on the side of Blacklist. A little bit out of position there for sure. Very nicely punished there from the Radiant squad. Yeah, just some long pokes. There's nothing these two supports can really do without their cores getting involved. Okay, yeah, I was saying that the cores on Talon don't really want to sit back and hit creeps, but I suppose they do. I mean, 23 obviously does have the Battle Fury, which means he does want to do that. Meanwhile, Tim's potentially in some danger. Lots of silences and slows can't get away. Tim's is dead. Ooh, those shards nearly got the connection as well towards AU. That could have been a very nice extra pick off there for Talon. But even as it stands, with the Murano dead, looks like they're trying to play aggressively in towards the Radiant jungle area, but it's been completely vacated from Blacklist. They do not want to contest this area whatsoever.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
But yeah, this game is pretty much progressing the way I was envisioning it. Envisioning? Oh my god, man, words! I can't say them! It's too early for me, guys. It's too early. But yeah, like, it's pretty just... Everyone's just sitting back farming, you know? No team's really been able to take a dominant lead. I think we've yet to see a Doom actually come out from Q. It's all like game #1. We did see a single black hole. This time, we've not seen a single Doom, but we could be treated to one momentarily. He's got his BKB up. And with this 5-man smoke maneuver, they're going to charge in towards the Dire Triangle right now. Who is it they're going to find? They get the spot they're on towards poor old Q. And that's a dead Ricky for sure. But again, to be honest, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what... Well, it's the ideal situation there for Talon, right? If you want anyone to die, it's going to be the Silencer or the Ricky. And yeah, right place, right time there for Q to make sure he keeps his cause alive. Meanwhile, it looks like potentially Blacklist are going to start heading down towards this bot lane where both Ollie and Jabs are farming up. Ollie's already TPing, Jabs just going to try and run away. And it looks like he will make it. Oh, I think he just got spot there, but yeah, until this blink tag is actually available for Boss Q, not going to make any difference. So another little gank evaded there for Talon. And now they're going to get aggressive themselves. Let's see who they find. There was actually... Hey, look, Jesus, look at all these super aggressive wards actually on the side of Blacklist. I think they smoked in this area, so the information should have been there for Blacklist that this is coming. And yeah, they're all just in full disengage right now, running back to the safety of their tier 2. So there's a very good read there from Blacklist, and no one's going to get caught out this time. Except AU, perhaps? Is Courier just got spotted? Instead, no, they're going to spot out Carl. That's a huge kill to find. Down goes the mid laner in less than a second. Going to be the potential +1 there on towards AU as well. Smoked up the 4-star, at least able to make some space. And he gets the tombstone off at the very least. And that does just give a little bit of space for the rest of Blacklist to run away with. But that's all it does. They just run off. Not going to get too pressured. But now 23 just charges straight at Taku at the bot lane. And has to use his first 9-second BKB purely defensively. Has to just run away. This man has just not been having the series at all. Very, very, very unfortunate. Oof. Yeah, you gotta feel sorry for him, you know. We've all had games like this where no matter what you do, you just feel rough. Oh, TV coming from Carl. Because he wants to play aggressive, jumping immediately on towards Ollie. This should be able to be a solo kill right now. Oh, nice shot to Bako, making a bit of space, and it actually forces Carl to use his BKB. So again, that's another 9-second now used just for a support kill. But Ku, he pumps the Doom twice! He still can't cast this goddamn ultimate! Oh my lord, 2 times it got cancelled, multiple deaths already for Blacklist. Tim's, they're just ignoring him like, you're not high priority enough, mate. We'll get to you eventually. They just kill Raven, and Tim's is like, let me live, please. But Talon aren't gonna let it happen. So 4 people gone again. Oh my god, Ku, no! Literally, I saw the animation twice. Twice he went to do it, but I don't know if it was because of the fog or he cancelled it himself. But still, no Doom at 23.5 minutes in. Another 4 kills there for Talon, and now we actually start to see the first main advantage of the game being accumulated right now. 73 win percent probability into the favor of Talon Esports. And it's down to Blacklist to try and recover this. Like, we saw in game number 1, Talon were not forcing the issue even when they had the advantage. They're playing very safe, very cautious, and just do the same again. Why not? They're not in any rush to end this game here and now. Like, it's not like either squad has a particularly stronger late game. Maybe you could say Blacklist a tiny bit, but it really doesn't feel like that way. Like, whoever's in the lead is just, yeah, is just gonna stay in the lead, to be honest. Just taking control of the Radiant jungle yet again. This could help further their farm. Meanwhile, the rest of Blacklist having to move out as this squad towards their own triangle area. And yeah, it feels like they just can't sort of separate from each other anymore. They've got to play as a 5-man unit because a fight could come at any second. And they're just not really prepared for it. Just Sleeping Dart just toying with Carl a little bit. No follow-up as of yet. And I'm sure Talon would like to. Now, it's kind of rare to see a Tusk pick up as well with no Death Slayer. You know, normally that is a very highly prioritized item for mid-Tusks to help, you know, get that infinite scaling going on, the instant pick-offs. But, yeah, it's not needed. Oh, it definitely isn't needed. They're finding kills either way. So what is the play the Blacklist need to do to try and balance this game out? For one, it feels like they need to use the Doom. That's the first step, right? But who is the main target in that? Ursa, if you could get him before he pops his ultimate and the BKB whatnot, could be a nice grab. You know, they could potentially burst him down without this Aegis. But obviously you've still got the Marcy, the Tusk to worry about, plus the Global Silence coming in is going to break it all up. So I feel like there's also going to be a fair bit of pressure on Carl, you know, to get into the back lines, kill this Silencer as quickly as possible. As soon as you take out that Global Silence advantage, it definitely becomes a bit more difficult for Talon. Actually, it looks like Carl found Q chilling in the trees behind their tower, but, you know, quick fingers once again, and Q's able to disengage. And Roshan number 2, 2 minutes 20 away, relatively long respawn timer. And, yeah, got a bit of time to wait. I think Talon, they will just wait. You know, we saw them sort of poking the high ground then, but they're not overcommitting. They're just going to carry on progressing their farm. Abyssal Blade next to come out for 23, and he's just 170 gold away. And this is going to be that easier to find kills. Now, Blacklist, right, they're going for a 5-man smoke. This has to be successful to help try and balance this game. I mean, they're only behind by 4k, but it feels just a lot worse than that in terms of momentum in this game. Smoke breaks there for AU from Mikoto. And looks like maybe the Undying could be the first casualty right now. Immediately, Talon just jump on top of him to lead him straight, but the jump force for Ku. Out comes the Doom. It actually lands on towards the Masterful people. Ursa also get involved, but nice Noble to destroy this. All three cores charging it deep. Carl just getting shredded. He does have the opportunity to disengage. At the very least, the Marcy is down. BQ keeping pace after Raven. Wants to try and get that +1 grab if they can. Tim's already dying off onto the back lines. And Raven, the invis from the Moonlight Shadow runs out, but regardless, he manages to get enough distance away. But it's still a 3-for-1 trade into the favor of Talon Esports. Not a humongous goal change or anything by all means, but it's another little step up into their favor. Doesn't really change the win probably much, but actually might not even be done yet. Mikoto's found another opening there on towards Boss Ku. He's trying to run himself away. Sleeping Dart's just going to hold back AU as well to be the potential +1 here. Nice body blocks also coming in. And it's just a double for 23. This man is just an absolute monster in this game number 2. I mean, we saw it in game number 1 as well. He was just shredding people with the Lina. And now he's just doing it yet again on the Ursa boy. And he's building into the Lincoln Sphere next. Yeah, it's going to be a good counter towards Coop when he might eventually be able to use another ultimate. Casual arrow hits. But 10 seconds for the Roche. Do Talon wait for it? Looks like they're going to leave the pit momentarily before it spawns. We've seen it many times before that someone literally just jumps in as soon as it respawns, and it will. Boom. And Ollie tanking up the arrow as well to make sure that there's no vision coming in for the side of Blacklist. Yeah, Roshan number 2. Back into the hands of Talon. I assume they also just give the shard over towards 23, right? No reason not to. Give them that sort of raging earth shock to just keep running at people. They just feel nearly unstoppable in these fights, which he definitely does feel like. He's 7, 0, and 3 right now. Wants to try and get another godlike spree on the go if he possibly can. Meanwhile, Miko has found the grab there on towards Tim's. And my lord, the support Mirana just disappears. Now 7k gold is the lead here for Talon, which is worse when you consider the fact that when you have a Doom lineup, your net worth is always going to be inflated. And it's just not really putting a dent into the side of Talon right now. And they are going for another aggressive play with this smoke. Let's see if anyone on the side of Blacklist gets caught out from this. They're just chilling right outside the base. Get a couple of nice high ground wards. But the rest of Blacklist are all just sort of hanging about by their tier 2 mid. But instead, the high ground siege is now coming out. There is a glyph available. And they're going to be forced to use it momentarily here because 23 is just going to keep on beating to this building. It's not really threatened whatsoever. Arrow trying to hold him in place, but Miko actually jumps in aggressively. Just gets such an easy kill onto Tim's. He can't actually respond whatsoever. And now, Abyssal Blade forwards, Ku getting locked down. Manages to pop the BKB, has Doom available. He does drop it on towards Jabs, but he's already popped this Orb, and the BKB takes down the Tombstone as well. This is a perfectly fine fight. 23 is locked down there, does have the Aegis who's going to come back in, but Jabs has already fallen. This isn't too bad of a fight so far for Blacklist. Can they get anything else out? The Global Silence is there. Down goes Boss Ku. They're trying to focus onto Mikoto, but he just BKB TPs away. Oh, 23 jumps back in aggressively there. Arrow gets avoided by the BKB, and nice force staff to make the space. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade with a buyback there into the favor of Talon. Tier 3 still standing though. So even though it is a slight money and XP exchange there for Talon, it's not the worst fight in the world for Blacklist, considering the fact that they also managed to get rid of that Aegis advantage. And yeah, they use this as best they can. They're going for this 4-man smoke. Does Q break? He does it onto Carl. Gets the spot. Dust, unfortunately, doesn't collect on 21. So this smoke gank has already sort of been put a stop to. And it's going to be the Sleeping Dart setup. No one wants to follow suit. I mean, there's no Marcy, there's no Ursa. They're both just chilling, continuing their own farm. Yeah, what's he actually building into next? Obviously, yeah, it's the Lincoln Sphere. He's about 500-ish gold away. Actually, with all those bounty runes, he's pretty much got it already. Yeah, so now it's just going to be even more difficult for Blacklist Rivalry to find these openings to get these kills on the go. It's very, very difficult. It feels like Jabs is going to need this Linkens as well, because out of the 2 Dooms that Ku's actually been able to drop, they've both been on top of this Marcy right now. The second one was less impactful because he had the BKB and ulti already activated, so you know, you could actually do some damage and kill the Tombstone. So he was able to perform quite nicely. And still, it is 11k gold advantage for Talon right now. And Blacklist still on the back foot. I mean, Raven, what's his farm like now? He's got the Manta, Hurricane, with Shadow Blade, trying to build into his own Lincoln Sphere, which, you know, it'll avoid the Global Silence, Snowball, Abyssal Blade from the Ursa, Sleeping Dart as well.
Even a master.
So there's quite a few abilities on the side of Talon that does pop it, but, you know, there's quite a few which is worth popping it against. It's a very high value item. I think actually picking off that that Aegis earlier has done a fantastic job at delaying out Talon, because at this point they'd love to be going back up to the high ground or siege some towers, but they definitely feel a little bit scared. You know, 23 can be brought down. With the Lincolns, he does feel a bit safer, but he's still going to be cautious for sure. Meanwhile, down at the bot lane, Carl potentially some danger himself, does manage to get the Remnants off, and the rest of his team in full disengage right now. Raven, ooh, we nearly got caught there. They had the gem online for Q. Shards does spot out the AU, and Undying just disappears in a second. Wicked sick now for Makoto. He's having a fantastic game here on this Tusk. Well, I mean, you know, that's fine. Again, it was a gank avoided. Carl and Raven both been able to escape, just sacrifice and life their position 5. You know, support gaming at its finest. But they're just still not able to close the gap between the farm of 23 and Raven. It's now 9,000 gold. Man, this guys are so far ahead. Trying to work now in towards the Swift Blink, which is just going to allow the Ursa to kill people even... Oh, Carl? Okay. That was kind of awkward. Now he's in some real danger. Has to pop the BKB. The Global Silence there, putting a stop to the Remnant. Bit of a mistake, but still there's not enough stun connections. He's trying to TP out. Does he make it? No, he doesn't. Down for a minute with no buyback. Did he think that his Remnant was in a different place? Or did the one he want to go to time out? I don't really know, but that is a huge mistake. Now no Ember for 50. Not even a buyback available, so Talon can definitely use this to advantage and try and take some objectives if they want. I mean, all the creeps actually got killed, so there's they can't even push into these towers. So there's a lot of anti-shove that Blacklist can throw out, and okay, it's not as punishing as it could have been. Blacklist, a bit of breathing room there, but next Roshan, I guess, is just going to be the objective that Talon want to go for. Don't want to waste pushing forward for anything else. And, you know, potentially up in a minute and 27.
Let us fight.
Meanwhile, the entirety of Blacklist grouped up. Might be able to get a jump there onto Makoto, but quick reactions to Blink Dagger away. Going to avoid that gank. Actually got a sizable wave top. They should be able to cut up this tier 2. Actually, they might even need to hit it. Just the creeps and the catapults alone are going to clear that one up for him. Doesn't look like they're done yet. Gonna keep going high ground. Why not? I mean, as I was saying, they got double catapult wave. They could do a decent amount of damage to the tower, but it doesn't look like anyone actually wants to tank it up for them. And they will just end up, you know, getting cleared up pretty damn easily.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So 23, does he have enough to buy this now? Not yet. He's about 500-ish gold away, and then Swift Blink will also be up. Another big old power spike there for the Ursa. Ags actually for Makoto, so the opportunity to start getting people out of position is going to be coming very, very soon. And that's going to be fun to see. He also did actually go back for the Desolate. I was saying earlier that he didn't bother to pick one up, but, you know, it's an item which still has some decent impact even in the later parts of the game, so it doesn't matter too much about picking up later. It just means you know, you'll have less of the stacks built up, and you know, it doesn't scale quite as well. But regardless, it is there. Roshan 1 minute away. Meanwhile, there's a little fight going on inside the triangle. BKB was activated to Jabs before the Doom came out, and now the re-engagement. 23 on top of the Mirana, but he's able to disengage. Mikoto just annihilating AU. I don't think he even managed to get his tombstone down. That is massive right now. And everyone on the side of Blacklist are just in full disengage. Nice +1 foul. Mikoto just deleted both the supports, man. Those walrus punches are devastating. But that is all they lose, I suppose, at Blacklist. It's a little good way of looking at it. You lose your 2 supports, but it is more BKBs used. I think pretty much everything's down to 6 seconds now, right? Raven obviously not even having one. Carl, also 6 seconds. Not going to achieve too much. Oh, Q. Okay, with the sentry wards, do actually get a spot there on towards the Ricky. So no one's going to fall prey to that, but Carl might not be so fortunate. Makoto's lurking after him. Slide Fist used, jumps in, gets the first stun with the follow-up on the Snowball and Abyssal Blades. He's just dead. Yeah, he's just dead. Well, he does have buyback at least, 60 seconds, but Roshan, number 3, has respawned. Cheese and Refresher Shard are the 2 items. Just look how quickly this hero dies, man. Or hero, the Roshan, sorry. But yeah, I'm assuming they give this shard to Ollie, right? Double global? And it depends how greedy they want to be. Okay, they shards into the backpack of 23 right now. I guess he just wants the double BKB, double rage for the fight, double Abyssal as well, which is pretty impactful. I mean, double silence is pretty nice. So you can pop global, force everyone to then use the BKBs, use the mana to purge it, and then you just pop a second global. And yeah, they'd be screwed then, Blacklist. But regardless, high ground siege coming back on out. With the help of this Aegis, 23 definitely feels comfortable to sit himself up into the high ground and start shredding these buildings. There is a glyph available for Blacklist to delay it, but there are more creeps coming in momentarily, so Talon don't have to fall back far if they, if they choose to. Instead, they're actually just going to take down this tier 2, close out this final exterior objective, and every high ground will then be available to siege. Yeah, just playing quite cautiously. Did they catch a glimpse? They might have spotted Carl moving outside the base, which is why they're now all deciding to head on down into the Radiant jungle. I mean, they see him hitting creeps, but never mind, he's got all those fire runners, he just zips straight on out of there.
Oh, that's so easy, actually.
Now 60k gold advantage, Aegis in tow, 33,000 net worth. He has 50% increased net worth over the top of Raven, which is absolutely massive, especially with 40 minutes in. There's easily 2 full items, and Raven's trying its best to try and recover, but it's pretty damn difficult when you're pretty much continuously on the back foot. You've got your entire squad following you to provide protection, and sometimes this doesn't seem enough. Like, Talon just feel comfortable taking fight after fight, not really pressured to fall back whatsoever. And there's actually this little 2-man moving up top. Q and Carl moving out of the base.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Let's see who gets caught. Looks like Q will be fine. Carl, again, just zips away to the fire runner. He's out. They're just trying their best right now for Blacklist to cut waves. Just delay this push, allow them to get as much farm as they could possibly get, because they need items as quickly as possible. The one positive thing going for them is the fact that, 23 is pretty much already 6 slide. This guy can't exactly get much bigger. I mean, sure, he could get Ag's Blessing and Moonshard, but apart from that, he is topped out, which will help. Oh, there's the AoE Doom. Ku with the Ag Scepter. Going to be doing a nice little show there, but the BKB was all reacted from the Tusk. Meanwhile, the backline's jabs, annihilates AU, just runs through the Doom, wants to disengage if he can. There is going to be the global silence, and 23 is like, the Doom's still there, man. I can't get involved. And jabs does get brought down, but I don't think that's enough for Talon to really feel afraid. But it might do, actually, because the buyback was there from the Undying. No Marcy for 70 seconds, and looks like they do actually slightly fall back. But Doom now on cooldown for another 50. That could probably be more impactful, that being down, than having the Marcy up. We will see. But majority of the squad has just pretty much split up right now. Makoto and Ollie just sort of chilling around the triangle. Meanwhile, 23 is just hitting high ground on his own without much support. I mean, he's got to be careful. A lot of long-range damage can just come raining in, as we just saw. He gets bullied back pretty easily. And it looks like Talon just going to fall back yet again. Gonna have to wait. Is it going to be Roshan number 4? I mean, they've still got a minute left on this Aegis. Not really a huge amount of time to work with, so they might have to wait for it. But Makoto finds a very valuable courier that's completed Shiva's guard in the ground for a full 3 minutes. And that is pretty big. That's a lot of net worth, which just gets immediately removed from the map.
Use mana, get killed.
We do see the smoke move though coming out. TP there for 23 Savage, but the Doom is back up already from Ku. The Ursa will die, but he has the Aegis, and immediately Ollie gets taken down. This could be a fantastic fight to come on out. The jump forwards in from Makoto, but unfortunately can't do anything. The Doom is just being too damn impactful. They found Ursa, they found Makoto, and look at all that gold they're worth. It's huge amounts being cleared up there for Blacklist. It's what's that? Nearly 6,500 gold swing, 15,000 experience. That is huge. That is exactly what Blacklist needs to help try and turn the tides for this game. Look at that graph just skyrocket back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, we can see that Talon have been a little bit afraid about pushing into the Blacklist base for good reason, and Blacklist Rivalry showing it, just coming out, clearing those big value kills, and are definitely in the big pickup momentum into this game number 2 right now. Tier 2 gone, going to allow them to start taking away the outpost, and we never know. We might be able to actually see them contest the next Roshan.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, even the top 2, that's going to fall down. Not really a way that Talon could defend it. Still 25 without the Tusk and Ursa. So using that little bit of space to perfection there for Blacklist, getting multiple objectives ticked off the list. Bit of extra farm. And yeah, what is the graph? So they've actually gone into positive win probability now. 56% there for Blacklist. Gold advantage just 6,000 there for Talon Esports. Actually 5,000. And yeah. They're feeling very happy. Starting to get another round of items online. Lincoln Sphere completed for the Ursa. Not the Ursa, sorry, for the Doom. So going to be able to avoid things like, the Snowball Punch, the Abyssal Blade, all this lockdown. And he's going to be able to keep getting these AoE Dooms offered. Yeah, getting this Axe has been absolutely massive from Ku. Like we've seen throughout this game and the last game, he's just not had much luck with these ultimates. But definitely starting to turn that around. 2 big ults in a row. And yeah, able to balance this game out fairly nicely. But we do see Talon making a smoke maneuver right now. Looks like they want to still try and play aggressive. And they might end up walking up into the radiant triangle there. But Tim's in the perfect position to break the smoke if they come this way. Talon just going to hold on the opposite side for now. And again, don't really want to force it with the smoke. So let it time out, and I guess they're just going to wait for the next Roshan yet again, which could potentially be up in 40 seconds time. They still actually do have the Refresher Shard and Cheese available since the last one. And it looks like Blacklist are now going to try and make an aggressive move themselves. Sleeper Dart on towards Tim's. Jump force from Makoto. Calculated connection. The AoE Doom is going to be there. But actually, the disengage from Talon is perfect. The Doom kind of wasted right now. And Blacklist have got to be really careful. Without that ultimate, it's very difficult for them to actually take these fights. But a couple of items have been picked up from the Ember Spirit at least. He got his Shiva's Guard from when the courier respawned. Just to complete an Aghanim Scepter as well. So definitely started to feel a bit more powerful. But regardless, Roshan number 4, 2 minutes and 15 seconds away. Another long respawn time, so no one's going to be able to capitalize on that. I kind of feel like Talon should just shove mid whilst Doom's on cooldown, because that is the main reason they lost those last 2 engagements. And yeah, maybe paying a little bit too much respect there to the side of Blacklist. Alright, it's a big opening, which they kind of let slip through their fingers. Instead, just going to try and gain vision control in the Radiant Triangle right now, set up for the next Roche, which, unfortunately for them, is too long, and Doom will be back up online. But they're getting good vision down. Meanwhile, the side of Blacklist, not really that much to work with. They've got a ward up at the top lane, which isn't really accomplishing that much right now, but all the information around Roche Pit is completely unknown to them. So we see another maneuver here from Blacklist. Going to decide to actually make a little journey outside of their base, shove out the bottom wave, maybe try and pick up some extra farm in their jungle while they're here. And they have time. Still another minute before Roche. I mean, for all they know, Roche could have respawned instantly and they could have been in the pit, but they are risking it right now and it is paying off. Maybe forced to start addressing it momentarily as, you know, the odds of Roshan already having respawned is just getting bigger and bigger. And now the smoke move is coming. Let's see if Talon is going to be the right place to stop this or not. Smoke. I think Carl shows himself there with the sleight of fist, so Talon know they're in the area. Smoke finally breaks there onto Carl. Underneath this high ground ward, they get the vision. Tim's trying to take away the orbs, and he does manage to do it there before the arrow, the sleeper dart comes in. So, going to allow them to set up on the dire side of this Roche area. And it's sort of going to become that standoff situation. Which team makes the first move? Who gets the initial opener? 8 seconds for Roche. And, I mean, maybe they could just sneak it away if 23 gets inside the pit quickly enough. And takes it down. I mean, Roshan respawn did get scouted out there from the Mirana arrows, so Blacklist have the information this is up. Q, he also sees it up, and if he was paying attention, he would have seen the fact that Roche was missing a bit of health, which, you know, would be a cue that that Blacklist also have the info he is up. Well, they definitely see it now, the fact that he's stunned. And do they just go? They're really thinking about it. 20 of these like dudes. I could just jump in, try and burst this down, but instead they're going to go for the team play. Smoke it up. Going to wrap around through the top jungle. Nope. Okay, they changed their mind. They're like, fuck it. Just kill Roche. Go for it quickly. There's going to be another arrow coming out in any second now from Tim's to scout this out, but Roche is just dropping so down quick. Arrow. Oh, it actually does land on towards the Ursa, but regardless, everything is getting picked up. This is Ags. Okay, so the Ursa actually does end up taking the Ags for himself. So, going to be able to pop that armor even when he is disabled, but that still doesn't actually allow him to use it during Doom, though. So still that means for Blacklist to hold him down, but geez, this Ursa is, okay, pretty much maxed out now. He's 6 slotted, he's got the Aegis, he's got Aghanim's Blessing, it's just the Moonshard, which he does actually have queued up next. But he still needs another 1,000 gold before he has that and buyback. Which he has to prioritize, you know, you can't be playing at this stage of the game without a buyback available. It could just grief your team super hard if you take an awkward fight. But they also have double cheese. And is that just all it is? Okay, they got double refresh shot as well. So got one into the hands of Barcy, steal the one into the Ursa's inventory as well. So they have lots of means of taking fights, but despite of that, they still just feel very, very anxious here on the side of Talon. Like, it's not like they're really waiting for any more items, right? Like, they're big enough. I mean, I suppose they may be waiting for this Moonshard, but it doesn't really seem that impactful to, you know, delay it out even longer. Meanwhile, in all this downtime,
Even a master falters.
Raven has now just completed up his own Swift Blink. 4k gold in his pocket, so he has the buyback available, which pretty much everyone does have. Just a matter of gold there for Q, but we could see the next fight just being 10 buybacks potentially, and that's when the real crazy stuff starts happening. And it looks like Blacklist, maybe we'll try to set up right now. They see so there's going to be the Doom already activated. Bosku standing his ground. The Earth is very, very tanky with the Rage activating. Multiple 4-star bring him to safety right now. But Blacklist still want to try and take this fight. The Undying getting absolutely brutalized right now. He does fall. Tombstone is down, but that's going to get cleaned off. Meanwhile, Makoto, the snowball can't quite keep chase, but instead they found Carl. His BKB will be forced. And this is big right now. BKB's down. Buyback has been forced out from the Undying. And it looks like Talon maybe want to just keep on shoving up towards this high ground. Jump in. Ooh, quick fingers there from Ku to get the Blink Dagger away. Mako jumping in, hit from the slow right now. Tusk's in some danger. Another 4 Stife bringing him away. But 23 jumps in yet again, but he still can't quite get the connection.
Even a master falters.
And do they carry on forcing it? I think they may as well. Still no Doom for 35. That's a big, big opportunity right now. I mean, they got the cheese from Makoto. He was about to use it, but Ollie's like, hang about, dude. I've got all of these shovel salves. Use these instead. And still, Carl, he has been picked off. Did they have first damage to bring him down? There's all the control in the world. Double punch. Makoto deletes him. 12% chance, my ass. Big, big plays. And now 90 seconds about the Ember. Could potentially force another buyback out here. It should be massive if they do. Meanwhile, 23 is just beating up onto the high grounds. And Blacklist did actually decide to move outside their base to try and pick up a little bit of extra farm. And it's going to cost them, though. Going to be full set of barracks going down. Mako jumping in. Doom, though, from Bosku, making the space. 23 not giving a crap about it. Jumps in aggressive himself with the BKB. He's just interested in trying to take down the Tusk. Now he's going to change the target over towards 23, but the Global Science is there. The Undying is dead again. Technically a dieback for him. Eventually the Tusk is down. Carl on the backline's doing work, but now 23 wants to get re-involved. His first life is gone. Raven quickly picking off the Silencer as well. Arrow a little bit too early there. Couldn't quite get a connection onto 23, but regardless, he's going to keep going. The Sleeper Dart lands on towards Raven, kicks him back into the waiting arms of Q, but it is actually going to be the Doom who's going to get brought down first. Or is he? Maybe the turnaround. The Refresh Shard used on 23, but still Mako is down. Dieback from him, gone for 2 minutes right now, and this fight isn't too bad. 23 just has to go for the BKB TP away, and he does successfully make it. But lots of buybacks forced out in that engagement. 3 from the side of Talon. 2 there coming out from Blacklist.
Fastest blade in the land.
And yeah, a dieback as well from the Tuskman. So 100 seconds he's gone for. Can Blacklist use that at all? I mean, the downtime on this Doom is just so damn short thanks to the Octarine core. And obviously the talent cooldown as well, that he's going to have Doom available yet again. He's building in towards the Refresher's orb as well. I mean, the Glass did sort of teeter around, but still, Gaben's saying that Blacklist definitely came out on top. 64% win probably now. And Blacklist get aggressive. Got to start running down this mid. And it's down to Talon now to defend without the Tusk. I mean, out of all that as well, it was still just the tier 3 tower that Talon was actually even able to find. I mean, sure, they got a couple of buybacks, but definitely did not go the way they wanted. Just perfecting, just perfect plays coming up from Blacklist. Just kiting around very nicely. The Dooms from Cuckoo have been on point as well, and he's been surviving quite admirably. Like 23's been on top of him as well as Makoto, but with that AoE Doom, it's very, very difficult for them to actually bring him down. And looks like Carl now going to complete the Glepnir, which he now does have. I mean, he doesn't need to save a buyback, obviously. He's already spent it. So it's going to be an extra means of control, damage into the backlines. And yeah, potentially start just whittling away at the entirety of Talon. I think that smoke just got caught then. The ping came out immediately from Jabs. Like, yep. They smoked up, boys. Just be careful. Don't step out. Just turtle up in the high ground. Tusk's respawning momentarily. Still minimum of 2 minutes before the next Roshan's up. But I mean, Talon, despite the fact that they've lost multiple fights now in a row with Aegis, multiple cheeses which actually still haven't even been used. Yeah, Refresher Shard also stood into the hands of Marcy, but I think the Ursa did use his own in that previous fight to get the second BKB and Abyssal Blade off. Oh, but 23. Gotta be careful now, potentially gonna get caught, but manages to get the raid for AoE Doom is gonna be there from Bosku. He's trying to get on top of the 23 as fast as he possibly can, but with the BKB, just cannot do it. Alright. Okay, Doom down for 70 seconds. Refresher Shard, though, is not a million miles away. I think he could buy out for it if he wanted to, but he wouldn't have buyback available. Maybe Talon could use that to their advantage, but it doesn't look like they're going to risk it. Just going to keep on turtling. See if they can push this game to the 60-minute mark, get those tier 5 items online. And then we start to see the real crazy dough happening.
I have punching for you.
I mean, at one point, it did look like Talon were just going to be able to run away with this game. They sat at 88% win probability. They had a 15k gold lead, but literally just one fight, flipped this game on its head and have allowed Blacklist to just, yeah, take some really nice engagements. And it's very disciplined engagements as well. Like, sure, they've been picked off a couple of times, but every single time it's been a pick-off, it's always been away from their base, so they couldn't lose any objectives, or it was just a support, and Talon couldn't really act on it all too much. It looks like we might see the first high ground siege from Blacklist Rivalry coming out. No, they don't want to. They're thinking about trying to go onto the Ursa, but can't quite get that connection. All right, let's see. Roshan number 6? Is it 6? Wow, nearly maximum respawn time. 3 long ones in a row. Oh, the AoE Doom is there. The Ursa. Oh, wow, he's just caught miles out of position. What was he doing there on his own? Down for 95, does have a buyback and may very well be forced to use it, as the high ground siege is kind of inevitable at this point. Blacklist is going to try and force this out if they possibly can. It looks like, though, Talon, very ambitious play to stick around, see if they can find anyone. Well, I think they just got the spot there onto Ollie. The fading vision from the arrow did get the spot there on towards the silencer. It's all toying with the idea of trying to force this fight. There is obviously the high ground ward here from Talon, though, so they have the advantage in that regard. Oh, arrow does get the spot onto jab. So, okay, Blacklist with 2 arrows. They see 2 heroes not moving, so that's a clear sign that they've got the high ground ward and they want to take a fight. But it looks like maybe they're just going to try and force it themselves. They're sort of just keeping on the very edge of the vision. Another arrow. This time doesn't actually spot anybody. And they're just waiting for Roche. But it's not coming. And this is actually working out really, really nicely for Talon. Not being forced to use this Ursa buyback is huge at keeping the momentum in this game. Tim's also able just to sneak away the little D ward as well, which he's going to be happy about. Actually, talking about sneaking stuff, Carl was just hitting the high ground on his own. Obviously, does a decent amount of damage to the tier 3. We'll get forced off. Oh, Unleash actually also popped there. But that's not like a colossal in for Blacklist to try and use, especially with the Ursa now respawning.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
And still 56 seconds. And that is all Blacklist are interested in. I think they haven't got a single Aegis this entire game. So if they can get it, like they've been winning fights against the Aegis, against Cheese, against Refresh Shard, against Aghanim Scepters, all this stuff. And they've still actually been able to take it. So if they have those items themselves, I don't know, it looks really, really difficult for Talon to try and withstand that and keep themselves in it. But 16 minutes is here. Tier 5s are available, and let's see which ones actually end up getting found. Mirror Shield there on the online. That is actually very nice versus the Doom. Actually, I say that, but Doom doesn't cast on heroes anymore. He casts on himself. So it's kind of useless in that regard. Are there any other skills it matters against? No. None at all. Yeah. Very unfortunate pick up there in this game. And yeah, Roshan now respawning in 4 seconds. Does Q hang about? No, he doesn't. So don't get the instant spot, but what does it have on him? Should just be everything, yeah. Cheese, Refresher Shard, and Ags. All of those for the take-in, which, you know, Blacklist is definitely in the right position to get it, especially with this... Oh, well, DD is running out, but... Definitely a better spot than Talon is, for sure. Okay, now they spot it. But it doesn't look like they're interested, or are they? Yep, they are. Okay, in he goes. Oh, no! Carl's courier getting picked off there. He aggroed Roshan just as it was going by. So, oh, that's unlucky. Well, that's the Mirror Shield gone for 3.5 minutes. Which, you know, is kind of useful, actually, there for Carl. You know, that would have been a nice item to have on top of him. But, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Bit of luck there for Rivalry. Not that they know that happened at all. And Carl, actually, as a result, he doesn't have any neutral line right now. That's kind of massive, you know. They provide a lot in the games, these items, so we'll see what they're going to do without them. There's still Aegis into the hands of the Drow Ranger. Gave her the Aghanim's Blessing as well. So you've got the old split shot thing going on. Who took the refresher? I assume it was the Doom, right? Yeah, so you got the Doom before he even completes his own orb. Ooh, arrow does actually land there onto an Invis 23, so the read that there is a smoke gate coming does get found. Blacklist going to be able to disengage yet again. See the old Necro book coming out, sending those Necronomicon creeps just running down lanes. I wonder if we'll ever get a change where they bring back that item. Bring back the old classic zoo builds. That could be nice. I mean, how long has it been since that's been removed? Was it just 7.3? Was that when? Or was it whole 7? I actually can't remember, to be honest. Feels like a long time ago. It's still... it's just... Both of these two teams are just so anxious about taking a bad fight and throwing this whole game away. That they don't really want to force themselves into any fights at all. Like, but there's 3 cheeses in the game at the same time. That's pretty damn nasty. Still 30k gold advantage, but that means absolutely nothing at this stage of the game. Like, gold, yeah, literally means nothing. Nothing at all. Stygian Desolator, though, that is pretty damn nice to have there on the side of Raven. You know, his attacks pretty much ignore armor altogether, but the fact that then you put their armor into nearly a deficit, you can just really shred people in that regard. So, I don't think the supports on the side of Talon are going to be able to last long whatsoever. They'll just disappear. And, yeah, it's going to be pretty nasty whoever does get caught out from that. But still, Talon maybe now going to make a move outside their base. Just going to try and get some wards down, or at least take away the vision that Rivalry were able to pick up inside their own jungle area. And here comes the Midnight Shadow. Could potentially be the first fight in a long time. Jump forwards from Bosku. Got the grab on towards the Ricky Murray. He's able to disengage for now, and he is going to be able to survive. Meanwhile, though, Mikoto does get caught from Carl. Again, another BKB gets forced. Has just run away. But Doom has already actually been expended, and he is in right now. There is going to be the global sides, but it doesn't matter. Doom's just chasing after Tusker now. Wants to find this kill, and we'll be able to get it. Buyback is there. He'll be forced to use it. Or where is he? Actually, never mind, though. Bosku's trying to run away, but the Marcy's just chasing after, just runs straight into the open arms of Raven. Just melts the Marcy away. And now it's down to a 3 versus 5. Both buybacks available. And we'll see if Talon are going to be able to force Blacklist into an awkward situation before popping that. Oh, I say that. 23. Forced to use the refresher. Well, actually, no, the Ex-Machina, sorry.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The tier 3's gone. And first set of Barretts. Might they actually drop at 65 minutes into the game? The first Barrett building, which is just bonkers. Absolutely mad, the fact that they've survived this long in the game. It is gone, but it looks like that's all Blacklist are going to decide to stick around for. I mean, they still want to try and force out these buybacks, though. They're very, very big to remove. Meanwhile, Carl did actually go back to complete up the refresher orb, so he's going to have multiple ways of zipping around the fight, multiple BKBs, actually, yeah, and Glepnirs. So it's a good amount of control. It looks like Blacklist, though, changing their target towards this mid lane. And with the use of the Necro creeps, able to keep this high ground siege going. Loads of damage is being plowed into the tower. They do not last long at this stage. Glyph is going to be there. But all that it's really doing is delaying, you know, trying to give more time to allow the Tusk to respawn naturally. Jump forwards to 23 Savage just to, well, to 23, destroys the Tombstone to take that away, but that's a very minor victory. Jump forwards there from 2, Bosku on top of the Ursa Bear. But does try to disengage. Buyback's already been forced out from the Marcy. There is going to be the Global, and he's trying to get into the back lines. But we saw in the previous fight, Jabs is very susceptible to just getting picked off immediately. 20 has taken so much damage, forced to disengage. Going to have to run back to the fountain to actually heal up. You know, yet again, Mikoto trying to poke a prod, see what he can find, but they jump in. Just the arrow rains in from afar. They find Mikoto, but at least he does have buyback available. But it doesn't really matter. Second set of barracks has already gone down. Just one set standing here for the side of Talon before they get megged. Another buyback has been expended just bit by bit. Blacklist are whittling away at the side of Talon. they just can't really get a foothold in this game. Like, they had the lead once upon a time, but that feels like a whole series ago. Oh. Okay. Oh, I thought the courier had, like, I don't know, a divine rapier or something like that, but it was literally just empty. Or did it have the... Oh, I think it might have had the mirror shield and stuff on it. Interesting.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
But okay, 32k gold advantage now into the favour of Blacklist. And it looks like they will just chill out for now, you know. They don't have the Aegis advantage anymore. Potentially up in another 2 minutes' time. But they are still positioning themselves quite aggressively on the Talon side of the map, so not really feeling threatened to fall back at all. Just keep the pressure going. And maybe be able to close out these megas. I guess these arrows are literally just probing. If anyone gets hit from one of them, that will be the cue for Blacklist to go in. There's going to be AoE Doom. Got the lockdown on towards the Ursa. Oh my lord. 23 just vanishes. Okay. That's the Ursa down. Still, he does have buyback. Probably going to be forced to use it momentarily if Blacklist want to try and just go high ground. Try to secure these megas here and now. And just look at all these remnants being tossed out from Cards, making this little perimeter that you can zip to absolutely anyone. And even the AoE damage is actually cancelling blink daggers as well, which is another good point to note. Like, it really does stop both the Marcy, the Ursa, Tusk from just blink daggering in. Even just that, just zip around, do a bit of damage. Okay, they pick off the ranged barracks, they force out the buyback, and that's enough. That is a huge victory in itself. So now all 3 cores on the side of Talon have no buybacks available. It's just the supports. And Roshan number 7, potentially up in 50 seconds right now. I'm pretty sure it's 7, right? Is it 7? I could be completely wrong by that, but there's just been too many to count. I can't keep track of this goddamn game, man. It is absolutely nuts. Well, but there we do see the first Divine Rapier of the game. Jabs picking that one up. And, I mean, this man can do a huge amount of damage. It just depends if you can actually stick on top of somebody long enough to do it. There's just so many 4-staffs and means of disengage on the side of Blacklist that, yeah, it's just quite difficult for Talon to actually get these kills. But they're going for this smoke maneuver, very aggressive outside of the base. But in the meantime, creeps are hitting the high ground. I mean, Raven, yeah, he's just going to go for it. Hit the building. Force the TP back. All it would have needed was like a couple more right clicks to actually hear. They could have found it, but instead, they found the opening right now. They got the grab on towards the Earth. The AoE Doom is there to make the space. Out comes Science, and my Lord Mako has just gone. No bite for him. 23 trying to bring down Boss Coup, but he's just 2 down quick. Carding away with Jabs. They focus onto Raven. A lot of damage on towards the Drow Ranger. They actually do find the kill. This is actually not too bad here so far from Talon. But Jab's going to be careful, doesn't get separated too hard. You know, he does have the Aegis that's on the deck. Going to be getting given over towards the Drow. And now they just start falling apart, it seems. And GG is called. Talon tap out. And Blacklist Rivalry. Even the series 1-1. 69.5 minute long game. Absolutely nuts way to end. But yeah, they end up doing it. I thought at one point there was no chance they were going to come back into the game. But I'm very glad they proved me wrong and showed that, you know, there's a reason I'm not a pro. I am a commentator. You know, those who can't do, teach. Those who can't teach, talk nonsense. And that's exactly what I do. And yeah, proves how much I do. Wait, it was only 31-31? What? No. It seems like there was a lot more kills going on than that. Wow, that is a very crazy game. But hats off to Blacklist Rivalry taking the game number 2, forcing this to the 3rd game right now. And yeah, still up for grabs on who's going to go forward to secure that that first position for the grand finals. And to be honest, if Blacklist could play the same way they just did then, I could definitely see them taking it. But I think Talon, they're going to have to address the fact they knew they were ahead. They definitely could have ran away with that game, but they just played maybe a little bit too safely, gave the opportunity for Blacklist to get the farm online, took some good fights, and it just spiraled out of control. There's nothing they could do. So yeah, we will see. Game number 3, guys, will be coming in about 10 minutes' time. So do not go anywhere. We will see the conclusion of this series very, very soon. We'll see you then.